Ah, yes. Let's begin. Not with doctrine, but with direction. You see, in the depths of this passage, we are not given a map of rigid theology, but a mirror. And if you look carefully, it reflects the shape of your own becoming. We begin with a great paradox. In whom we have redemption through his blood. Now that doesn't mean you are being bought off like a debt at a banker's desk. No, this is mythic language pointing to something far more intimate. Redemption here is not an external transaction. It is the inward realization that your suffering, your mistakes, even your foolishness are not obstacles to truth, but portals to transformation. The blood is symbolic of life laid bare, life that flows out, not clutched or hoarded. And it is in that letting go, that surrender, that the ego begins to dissolve. Because it is precisely through the innocence of the one who suffers that we come to see our own illusion. And we recoil, and we wake up. And suddenly, what once seemed like guilt becomes instead the doorway to grace. Not grace as permission, but grace as unearned belonging. Then he has abounded toward us in all wisdom and prudence. Now this is not the prudish wisdom of moral control, no. This is not the brittle knowledge of the rule keeper. This is the radiant knowing of someone who understands what matters. It is the soft whisper of insight that comes when you stop trying to grasp truth like an object and instead let it arise in the quiet of your attention. He has, it says, made known the mystery of his will. Well, of course, reality never tells you the whole thing in a visual presentation or slideshow. It discloses itself gradually, participatorily. The mystery is not a puzzle to solve, but a presence to join. And that's the point. This will, this intention of the source, is not imposed from without. It is emerging within, and it is pleasurable. Not in the hedonistic sense, but in the sense that it feels like coming home. When you stop resisting the flow of what you are, of what this world is doing in and through you, there is a certain rightness that returns. That is the good pleasure. And why all this? That in the dispensation of the fullness of times? What a phrase. This is the moment in which time itself ripens, where all the fragments, all the scattered selves are gathered into a single coherence. You are not a mistake in this universe. You're not an outsider looking for the door. You are a thread in the great tapestry of consciousness that is slowly, deliberately drawing itself into unity. Not uniformity, unity. The bringing together of heaven and earth, the possible and the actual into a living pattern. This is what it means when it says, He might gather together in one all things in Christ. Not Christ as a proper noun, like someone with a business card, but Christ as the archetype of integration, as the deep pattern of being itself. It is what every mystic has always pointed toward. What those in the East call right doing, what others call the Tao, which is to say, the way, and what the early Christians recognized as the Logos, the integrating principle at the heart of all things. And it's not over there, it's here. It is the breath in your lungs, the ache in your chest, the joy that dances uninvited at the corner of your ordinary day. So, you see, this passage is not about religion, it's about reality and your place in it. Not as a pawn on a game board, but as a participator in the great unfolding, called not to believe, but to be, to awaken, to join the gathering of all things, not through willpower or belief, but through resonance. And that, my friends, is not something to be argued. It is something to be trusted